Yada 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 ya ya yada 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 ya ya yada 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 da da, yada da da da, I, yada da da, yada da da, yada da da, yada da da, yada da da da, ya ya da da da, yada da da, yada da 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 da. Yada da da, yada da da da, yada da da da, yada da da, yada da 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 da, yada da da, yada da da da, yada yada da, yada da, yada da da, yada da da. Ya da 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 da, ya da 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 da, ya ya da da dum, ah ya da dum, ya da da, ya da da, ya ya. Boker Tov, good morning. Sorry I was a few minutes late coming on here. For some reason the connection just wouldn't connect. Hit go live 19 times and nothing happened, and finally we're here. So just a few minutes late. Let's take a deep breath together. We made it. So here we are. Next parsha, next passage of Torah. To read, to understand, to know, to unpack, to find some wisdom within it. This is the Parsha Va'et Chanan. Va'et Chanan. To take on a promise, a plead. And I plead. I plead with you. What are we pleading? Well, Moses stresses to the Jewish people, the Israelites as it were, the importance of keeping God's commandments when they enter the land of Israel. Moses is extremely particular in his choice of words. And even after finding out he's not going to the promised land, he's intentional with his words. That he wants to make sure that he's not leaving without making sure that the Jews know what they need to know, reminding them of all that was, and setting them up for the future. That they shouldn't ruin all of the work that they've carried all this way. He's pleading with the Jews, please don't mess this up. These are the things you need to know. He repeats the 10 Commandments, and he utters Shema ve'ahavta. Shema. This place where if you go to any type of service, in any type of synagogue, shul, place, temple, the Shema is the Shema. Regardless of the tune, people could know nothing, and all of a sudden, the Shema comes, it hits, and the heart of a Jew connects. Whether they know what they're connecting to or not, it is a familiar utterance of words. It is the heartbeat. It is life affirming. It is the reminder of our connection to oneness. It is the heart and soul, or as my rabbi of blessed memory, Rabbi Rab of Suburban Temple, used to say, the watchword of our faith. So, classical reform in thought. But unbelievable that, all of these years later, it's something that stuck with me. The watchword. We're watching each other. So I thought for a moment I'd unpack the words of Shema Ve'ahavta. Listen up, Jews. God is our God, and there's only one. No simpler text was ever unpacked. It's not hard. Shema, to hear and to listen. And we already know that there is a difference between hearing and listening. Of course. Hearing is, I hear you, there's sound, there's vibration in the world. Listening is taking in that sound and processing it. Some people say the Shema is the reminder that we are the chosen people. What is this great nation? And I have always had, still have, a hard time attaching to a chosen person. It does nothing for me. I don't feel chosen at all. I feel that in my mind, I choose. I choose to be who I am. I choose to connect in ways I connect. I choose Judaism. I choose God. I choose tradition, ritual, all of those things. I choose that, whether we are the chosen people or not. Some people choose to check the box that they're a Jew just simply because they were born a Jew. And other people think long and hard about checking that box and what that box means to them and how they connect to it. The words of Ve'ahavta, you shall love God with all your mind, your soul, your strength, your heart. Set these words as I command you this day upon your heart. Teach them faithfully to your children. Speak of them in your home and on your way, when you lie down and when you rise up. Bind them as a sign upon your hand, and for the majority of us, we are not putting tefillin on, the binding. That binding is the attachment, the connection to God. And I think for those of us that are believers, there's something beautiful in Jewish tradition that says, just because you're a Jew doesn't mean you have to be believing in every moment. Jews are allowed to question. Jews are allowed to ask why. Where other faith traditions, that is totally unacceptable. If the rule is the rule, that's it. Don't even question. But we have the ability to question. In fact, that's how we learn more. That's how we open our hearts. That's how we connect in ways that we never thought possible, because you know what? We were able to question. We were able to dive deeper. But the words of Ve'ahavta says, bind them as a sign upon your hand. Perhaps the binding is when we reach out our hand to help someone else. That is, that we are bound to help another. Let them be a symbol before your eyes. The second part of the phylacteries, the box. The second part of the tefillin that goes around your head. A symbol before your eyes. Let humanity, let Judaism, let tradition be before you. Let God be in your life, whether or not in this moment you feel it or you connect to it. But see, open your eyes. Open your eyes to see God's world. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. That is mezuzah. The mezuzah that's on your door. If you don't have one and you want one, let's talk about how we can get that installed. That is our reminder. When I ask students, they always say, oh yeah, that's the thing that protects our house. Because that's what their parents tell them. But in truth, Shema and Ve'ahavta they are on the scroll the cloth that is inside the mezuzah. It's Shema Ve'ahavta, reminding us that when we come in our house, we're there, God is there. It's our connection to oneness that we should love and do all of these things. And then when we leave on the way out, it's our reminder to say, take that with you into the world. The love and connection that we have. When I think of Shema Ve'ahavta, it's the reminder that whether we are in private moments of conversation or thought, or silence or meditation, or in public, our words are the garment, the clothing of the soul. The tender interchange between thought and action. Our words are the garment of the soul. When we lie down and when we rise up, we are connected to that which is, that which will always be, the oneness that is there for us. As we witness, as God witnesses, what our mouths speak. Because words are the garment of the soul. To speak of God, to speak of tradition, to speak of goodness, to speak of humanity, to speak of the connection that we have, Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad, that we are bound to one another in our actions, in our words, in our doing each day. Ve'et Hanan, I plead, I show up with, I connect to these words which I command you this day shall be upon your heart. That is to say, that we show up for ourselves with words that remind us of our connection, our ability to reach beyond ourselves, for we have the strength of that which is the heartbeat of humanity, the heartbeat of oneness. So coming off the heels of Tisha B'Av, there's something else that comes up for us as Jews. It's a much more modern Jewish holiday. Many of us may be not aware of it, or if you're a frequent connector, you might be reminded of it. But there's another holiday that is marked this Sunday at sundown, which is Tu B'Av. A modern day Israeli mostly celebrated holiday, which is the holiday of love. The holiday of love. From destruction, Tisha B'Av, comes rebuilding and repair of heart. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha v'chol nafshecha v'chol meodecha. To love with all of our hearts, with our whole self. We can't repair anything. We can't continue to hope. We can't make anything better if we don't have love in our heart. That is love for self. That is love for God, for tradition, for universe, for spirit, whatever that is in your own place, in your own heart. This is our reminder this week to show up with heart. To remind yourself just how interconnected and woven we are to one another, to community, to humanity, and to tradition. For tradition gets us through, ritual gets us through the moments that are really hard, and allows us to celebrate the moments that are worthy of celebration. That is the celebration of love, that follows the picking up of the pieces of destruction of our people. We are one human family, one heart of abundant love. We will continue to talk about this parsha all week. Tomorrow we'll be together. That's a lie. Tomorrow we will be together, but I will not be here. Hazel has a doctor's appointment. Rabbi Jay will be with you. Unless the timing works out. I might make an appearance. We'll see. But tomorrow 9:30, Friday 9:30, Friday 7 p.m., Saturday morning 9:30. Let's continue to show our love for one another in community, to show our love for ourselves, for God, and for the world. Thank you for being here. Lita and Ann, Shah, Eileen, Barbara, Amy, Geneva, Linda, Bet, we know you'll be here later. Bonnie, later. Amy, later. Let's continue to lift up and to love. Am Yisrael Chai. The Jewish people will live. Have a great day, everybody. We love you. Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael Chai. 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 Od Avinu Chai.